Hey there, guys. This is me, John Luther King, coming to all of you. And this is the Halloween Q&A video. And I'm going to be answering all your questions. I wrote them all down. 3 pages worth of questions. So, I have not had time to sit and think about these beforehand, because to me it's much more spontaneous and fun and silly if we just kind of go with it. So I'm not going to be looking them up ahead of time. I just wrote them down. The first question comes from the most beautiful woman to ever live in the world, Leanne Live. And her question is, what is the meaning of a jack-o'-lantern? Now, I could have gone online, I could have Googled it, whatever, I could have looked it up, but I am flying by the seat of my pants today, so I'm just going to wing this, like I said. So, my guess, my answer to that question, and it could very well be very incorrect, but my best guess, my most educated guess, as far as what is the meaning of a jack-o'-lantern, I think it has something to do with warding off evil spirits. I could be totally wrong. Google it, let me know if I'm wrong. If I am wrong, then I'm wrong. It won't be the first time, it won't be the last. So, I am guessing the meaning of a jack-o'-lantern, or the purpose, was to ward off evil spirits. But I might be wrong on that. Okay, now, that's not when I make sure to give a shout out to Leanne Live for asking me that question. Everyone who asks a question on my Q&A gets a shout out. So, the next questions are from Melanie and James. You two are amazing. I love your YouTube channel. Your videos always make me laugh. They're always fun, always entertaining, and you're just so much. I just love you guys. So, if you have not checked out their channel yet, please do so. They're amazing. They gave me a few questions. The first one is, what is your favorite part of Halloween? I think now my favorite part of Halloween is seeing the adorable and sometimes scary costumes that kids come up with. It's seeing them all, decked out in whatever they choose to wear, whether it be scary or funny or whatever. I had some adorable kids knock at my door last Halloween, and one was dressed like Elsa, one was like Olaf, and just seeing them in their costumes. I think one was Barbie, and one was what was that one character? Can't name now, but they're adorable, and seeing their costumes, and that's my favorite thing, and seeing the costumes the kids are wearing when they knock on my door for candy. Question number 2 from Melanie and James. Do you get lots of trick-or-treaters where you live? It depends upon what you mean by a lot. I didn't count how many kids I had last year, but I had more than I expected. I expected to be a lot less than there were. So, but some people get like 50, and to them 50 is a lot. Some of them get 10, and 10 is a lot. Depends upon where you live. I think I had at least 25. So I don't know if that's considered a lot or not. But they were just incredible. Question number 3 from Melanie and James. Do you dress up in a costume and give out candy on Halloween? In years past, I did. But I decided last year that unless I buy a different costume, I'm not going to dress up. Because none of the kids knew what the heck I was. I was dressed up in a 60s tie-dye fringe thing with a big peace sign necklace, and none of the kids knew what the heck I was supposed to be. So it became frustrating trying to explain to them what I was, and I just thought, what, I'm not going to dress up anymore unless I have a more explainable costume. So I don't plan on dressing up this year for Halloween, no, but I have in years past. And the final question from Melanie and James. I'm sorry, that's not a question. She said, "Hope that wasn't too many questions." No, it was not. You did a great job. Melanie and James. All right, next one is for CDR1964. Girl, you rock. I love you. I adore you. Thank you so much for asking me some questions. And, okay, the first one she asked me is, yeah, I can drink. One moment, please. Okay. So CDR1964, her first question was, did you ever go to Halloween carnivals or fall festivals as a kid? And as a kid, no, I didn't. When I was, between the ages of 5 and, 15, we had fall festivals at our church, which they have this whole big gymnasium area, and it was full of booths and kiosks where you could play games, where you could enter in best costume, whatever, and they had all sorts of games set up, and activities, and food, and, that one game, I can't tell you what the name of it is. It's really Apple Bob. We had one of those, and so, I would help out with those as I grew up. But as a kid, those things weren't available to me, or I was not aware of those things. Or those events, sorry. The second question from CVR1964, shout out to you. Let's see. Oh, she said, if you did go, what was your favorite memory there? I did go to one year being held at a different church, not the one I am a member of. It was at a different church. It was a church my uncle and my aunt went to. And they needed help with one of the booths. And it was that classic game where you have what looks like a big, hard to describe. Basically what you have is you have kids that have a little rod and reel. And they toss their line over the edge of this thing. And you're on the other side, hiding, ducking down, way down where they can't see you. And you hook a bag of treats and candy onto the hook. And then you tug on the hook, and they reel it back in. And they get their bag of toys and candy. So that was fun to do. I loved being a part of that because it was kind of anonymous. I didn't know who was back there, who was doing that. My chain fell off. Hang on. They never knew who was back there doing that, so that was kind of fun. That was my only memory of a fall festival. And third question from CVR1964, if you went trick-or-treating, did a parent go with you? Yes. My dad would take me trick-or-treating. Sometimes my mom would take me. She would walk around the block. We would go to neighbors that we knew and neighbors we were friends with, my parents were friends with, and that way we knew it was safe. And we would also occasionally, on some Halloweens, we would drive, or my dad would drive my mom and I around, and we go to family members' houses and go trick-or-treating there. So yes, they actually did go with me. My chain is not staying on very well. Okay, let's see. Now we're on to Corey Scherer. Shout out to you, Corey Scherer. I love you. And her question is 2 questions. First one is, what was your favorite costume as a kid? A lot of my costumes were handmade, homemade, that kind of thing. They weren't that, I wasn't kind of, child whose parent went to the Halloween store and bought him a $50 costume. We kind of had to make things. And so, my favorite costume, and of course you have to understand, my memory loss has taken over so much of my memory, I don't remember things anymore. I'm losing more memories of my childhood every day. So I can't sit here and tell you I remember when in this costume. But looking back at the pictures from back then, I would have to say my favorite costume was when I was Barbie. Because my parents actually went to Kmart and bought me an actual costume. And it came with the mask and everything and the cool outfit. And I felt like $1 million in that little Barbie costume. I haven't seen a picture of that in 20, 30 years. I have to, if I ever find it, I'll show it to you. But that was nice to finally have a store-bought costume to be able to wear, and that was amazing. So I would say that my favorite one would definitely be that one. And Corey Shearer also asked, did you used to use a pillowcase for a crate bag? We always did, LOL. Yeah, a couple times I did. But my parents had bought me, after my first year on Halloween, they bought me a little pumpkin thing that you put your candy in, a little pumpkin bowl with a little strap on it, and so that I used that from then on. But I did use a pillowcase a couple times. They always held more too. Okay. On to Sheila Irvin, girlfriend. Sheila, you hold a special place in my heart. You will never know. I love you so much. You're just amazing to me. Sheila asked me a few questions. Shout out to you, Sheila. What's your favorite Halloween costume you've ever been? And I'm trying to think. My favorite one I've ever been. I miss that costume so much. I still have some of it. My favorite costume I ever was, and because I didn't read these beforehand and look things up, I don't remember what the name of it was. But it was like a gangster type mafia person who wore the black striped suit, the black suit with the little white, pinstripes on it, and had the gun in hand and the hat, and that was so I freaking love that costume. I bought it myself with my own money. I saved up and bought it. And that costume, I freaking loved it. And the gun, it made real rat-a-tat-tat noise on it. And it was, oh my gosh. It was awesome. Now, hands down. If I can get that costume again, you better believe I'd buy it again. Because that was so much fun to wear. Unfortunately, I never thought to get a picture of me in it. No pictures. But that was my favorite one, hands down. She also asked, is there anything you would like to dress up as or dress up like that you haven't already been? Let me think for a minute. I think probably like a princess. To be able to wear a long, flowy gown that's like hoop skirt shaped, long, flowy gown and beadwork. Yeah. Princess, definitely. And what is your favorite Halloween candy? I would say my favorite Halloween candy, if you're not, now I'm not talking about Halloween shaped candy, right? I'm talking about just regular candy you would hand out. I would probably have to say, most people would think I would choose Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Those are my favorites. But a close second to that is Three Musketeers. I love them, and I just don't ever think to buy them very often. So I think that'd be my favorite thing to get for Halloween would be Three Musketeers, definitely. But my favorite Halloween candy would be Blow Pops, bubblegum, let me think, Reese's Pieces, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, stuff like that. Okay, so thank you, Sheila, for those questions. You're awesome. Ashley P, love you, girl. You're awesome too. Just mwah. Ashley P, have you seen Halloween Town? I am sad to say I've never seen any Halloween movie. None. Not Hocus Pocus or any of them. I know, some of you are going to disown me now, aren't you? We can't watch somebody who hasn't seen this movie. But even the ones that aren't scary, I haven't seen. The scary ones I intentionally avoid because I get frightened so easily. And something even small that scared me can give me nightmares for days. So I avoid scary things. I avoid them if I can at all costs. But even the cute, funny Halloween ones I haven't seen, the only one I've seen is not even a movie. The only one I've seen is, I guess called It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And that one I love because that's classic. How could you not love a classic? So that one I love. But I have not seen Halloween Town. Do you like scary movies? No. I avoid scary movies because, like I said, the smallest thing can just terrify me. And I'll have nightmares about it for days and weeks afterwards. So I have to avoid that stuff. Mentally cannot handle that stuff. What was the best candy you got as a kid? In my opinion, I got kind of awful candy as a kid. And I mentioned this in my Halloween video, which I haven't uploaded yet because it needs to be edited, and I haven't edited yet because I'm a lady. But I didn't get really good candy. You know, I got Tootsie Rolls and Tootsie Roll Pops, and I can't stand Tootsie Rolls and Tootsie Roll Pops. I got the little mint type candies. And the sad thing is, some of the places that my dad and mom would take me for reading would be to people I knew, and some of them would be elderly. And elderly people, I'm not trying to put a blanket term on anybody, but elderly people back then always had a bowl full of candy that they'd had for at least 6 to 9 months. It was stale. It was hard. It was gummy. It was stick to everything. It was so stale and so hard and so brittle, it was impossible to even consume. So, the Halloween candy I got was really bad back then. So, the best candy I got as a kid that I can think of would be if someone was handing out regular candy bars. Not full size, but like Three Musketeers, Milky Way, Snickers, Reese's. That was, to me, that was when I got a good score, when I got that stuff. Shout out to Phyllis Parton Marks. Thank you so much for the question. She said, how old were you when you stopped trick-or-treating? I don't know. I lost interest in it at some point. I don't know why. But I lost interest in it and didn't do it. And then when I was in my early 20s, I thought, I want to go trick-or-treating again. I want to go and get a costume and go. And my dad told me they passed a law that you have to be under a certain age to go trick-or-treating. And you cannot go trick-or-treating past that certain age. And I was furious. I thought, what kind of a stupid law is that? If you're not causing trouble, if you're not committing crimes, if you're not making mischief, if you're not, doing anything that's against the law, if you're not doing anything dangerous, if all you're doing is going to people's houses that you know and going trick-or-treating, where's the harm in that? If they don't want to give you candy, no problem, you leave. Not a big deal. I was furious. I'm still upset about that. That stupid law is you only trick-or-treat for a certain age. I have seen kids that are in their 20s and 30s go trick-or-treating. And if I see them, I'm like, dude, I'm giving you props, man. You're awesome. You're awesome and brave for doing that, because I would not risk that. But I've seen adults that do it in trick-or-treating. They don't have kids with them. It's just the adults. I'll give them candy. I'm like, here, take a palmful. Good, props to you, man. You're awesome. I couldn't do that. I don't know how old I was when I stopped trick-or-treating. I honestly don't remember the last time I did it. I miss it now. I miss being able to do that. But I don't remember how old. I'm sorry, Phyllis. I don't remember how old I was. On the page 2 of the questions. And next one goes Dollar Princess 101. Shout out to you, girl. I love you. Dollar Princess 101. What's your favorite candy and favorite Halloween movie? Favorite candy, probably bite-sized Three Musketeers. I love the Reese's Pumpkins, though. Those are really good. I like the Reese's Pumpkins. And I haven't seen any Halloween movies, except for It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I haven't seen Halloween movies. Like I said, I get scared so easily by the smallest things. I don't go see scary movies, period. I only saw one scary movie. One. And I saw that because the man who's now my ex-husband was watching it one afternoon, and I came in the middle of it when just two people sitting there talking. I was, this isn't a scary movie. And I watched it and kept watching it, and I kept thinking, okay, if it's scary, I'm gonna close my eyes. And it never got scary to the point where I was, had to do that. There's one point where it is bad, where I can't watch it. But besides that one point, I can pretty much be okay with it. And that movie, I'm surprised I was able to watch it at all, period. But it's called The Fog, and it's the 2004 one that was done. I saw the original one. My husband had it, and I watched it too. And it's good too. I love the cast in that one. The cast in the other one's good. So most of those movies are good. But it's called The Fog, and it's the one made in 2004. Okay. So thank you, Dollar Princess 101 for the question. On to Trisha E. She said, will you do a Plan With Me video for the week of Halloween? Yes, I did that video yesterday. I just need to get it edited and put together. The problem is, Trisha, I don't have a camera I can set up above my planner and just have it be recording the whole time I'm decorating the planner. I don't have that way of doing that. And so I had to kind of get the camera, get the phone, push record, show you what I've done, stop the phone, put it down, do some more, pick it up, push record. So it's like 4 videos I have to put together into one video and then upload. So I'm not sure when it's going to be up, but I did do that video the best I could do it, Trisha. Hope that makes you happy. I did give you a shout out in the video too. I did mention you in the video. So hopefully that'll be out the next day or two. I hope. I can get it edited and get it up. I need to do the Halloween one too. I talk about our Halloween memories. That one needs to be edited and uploaded too, so I got some work to do. But thank you, Trisha E, for the idea, for the suggestion. Amy Nash, shout out to you, Amy. She said, what purse will you wear for the fall/Halloween season? That's the same with me. I don't have a whole lot of purses. I have 2 or 3 purses, but I don't change them according to the season. I just use them until I switch. So, the one I'm using now is one I bought from Walmart. It's a salmon colored, purse. I've made videos about it before, but I'll be using that one probably until Christmas, if not beyond that. Amber Lynn, love you, girlfriend. She said, do you have a Halloween tradition? Let me think. I don't think I do. Let me think. I don't think so. No. Aside from watching It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown on TV, and handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. Aside from that, no, I don't. But thank you for the question. Okay. Tiki T40. Shout out to you, Tiki T40. What was the worst Halloween costume? I'm assuming it was the worst one I ever wore. And you'll see it in my Halloween video once I get that. I'm going to try to work on that today and get that edited and uploaded today if I can. But the worst one for me was the one where, and I can't believe that, I was a stupid kid. I wasn't thinking about, image what people think about me. I was so young and dumb back then. I didn't even think about it. But I had like a dress or something on, and then my mom put a paper sack, a brown paper sack she got at the grocery store over my head. She had drawn a rather ridiculous looking eyes, nose, and mouth on the bag. And she put the paper sack over my head. And I went trick-or-treating with that thing. Worst costume ever. Thank you, TKT40, for the question. That was so humiliating. Emma Jensen asked me 2 questions. First one is, what is your favorite candy? Again, my favorite candy I get for Halloween would be Reese's Pumpkins or just regular bite-sized candies like Three Musketeers, Milky Way, Snickers, whatever. And as far as out of the two, Milky Way, Snickers, I prefer Milky Way because I just don't like a lot of nuts in my candy bars. They're okay, but I just prefer them not have that in there. So I would say Milky Way out of the two between Snickers and Milky Way would win. And Emma Jensen, shout out to you, Emma. Also asked me, what's your least favorite candy? I mentioned that before. Actually I didn't mention it before. My least favorite candy is like mints and mint flavored gum, and it's like, really, this is your Halloween stuff you're giving out, really? So, my least favorite candy would be stuff that's old, stale, dry, worn out, not fresh, or stuff that's like Tootsie Roll Pops, and mint candies. I don't see a point to that. And then we have Always Down the Rabbit Hole. Shout out to you, Always Down the Rabbit Hole. Your question was, what do you think of the Monster Mash song? I love it. It just gets me in the mood for Halloween, man. It just gets me in the mood for Halloween. I love that song. It's like the quintessential Halloween song. I love it. It's awesome. I love it. Shayna Loftus. Can we please do a swap? Smiley face. I would love to do one. Girlfriend. Shayna, I would love to do one with you. Now here's the thing though. There's a condition though. There's a but in there. When I first decided I wanted to do swaps, number one, I'm on a very tight budget right now. I'm trying to pay off my hospital bills. I'm making payments on those, as well as paying on my other bills, and money's tight. But the first person I thought of when I thought of doing swap, the first person I went to was her channel is Beauty by Kayla. Kayla and I are really close friends, and she had been the first one to ask me to do a swap with her. And I said, yeah. We set a $20 budget, and still to this day, we have not been able to do that swap. She's been able to, I have not. And I feel bad about that. Because we planned this almost, it seems like almost a year ago. I think it was a year ago we planned this. And I still have not been able to spend $20 on her swap stuff. So, if it's taking me almost a year to even be able to do hers, I'm not sure how long it will be before we're able to do yours. But I promise you, when I can, you and I will do a swap. Okay, I promise you that, Shayna. You're number 2 on my list, okay? But Kayla comes first, and she has to be done first. And I feel like the worst coming of the earth because I haven't been able to do that yet. It just angers me. Anyway, okay, so Shayna, you're number 2 on my list. I promise you that. Next question is from KK, and she said, what's Halloween? That's how I say Halloween. I've done that for a few years now. That's how I say Halloween. Halloween is how I say it. Halloween is Halloween. Question from Tori, love you girl. Shout out to you. Favorite Halloween costume, I answered that before. It's the gangster outfit with the black suit with the little white pinstripes and the machine gun type thing, rat-a-tat-tat, and the black hat. That favorite Halloween costume ever. And question by Beauty by Kayla, love you girl. Love you so much. She asked me, what is your favorite Halloween memory? And I don't think I have one. So many of my memories have been erased that I don't remember things from my childhood anymore. So as far as I know, I don't have a favorite Halloween memory. And she said, what is your favorite Halloween drink? I don't have a favorite Halloween drink. Because most all of you know I don't drink alcohol. I refuse to drink alcohol. It doesn't mix well with my medications, and it's just not something I want to involve myself with. So I don't drink alcohol, period, at all. So I don't have a favorite Halloween drink. So, no, see the man, last question, sorry. Last question. Crap. I didn't write down the name of the person that asked me this. I'm sorry. I feel awful. I don't know who asked me the question. I'm so sorry. Please, please accept my apologies. I'm really sorry to get your name written down. I'm so sorry. But somebody asked me, I feel terrible. Somebody asked me, can you be a nerd with braces? Not in a mean way. You can be a nerd with without anything, you know. Let your nerd flag fly. I sometimes wish I had been, given braces as a kid or as a teen. Because my teeth are horrible, and I'm ashamed of them and embarrassed by them, believe me. So yeah, you can be a nerd with braces, without braces, with glasses, without glasses. You can be a nerd any old way. And to me, a nerd is not a bad thing. A nerd is not a bad thing. A nerd can be an awesome thing. It depends on how you look at it, you know? I would happily date a nerd or be related to a nerd, like a nerd, have a nerd friend. You know, it's okay to me. So, I don't really see people being... I don't see nerdiness or being nerdy as being a bad thing. I just don't. It just makes you awesome in a different way. So, I heard it explained this way. A nerd is someone who is smart, like, mathematically. Like, with math and with that kind of thing, with, figuring out problems. And then there are geeks. And geeks are all about, like, fandoms and like TV shows or movies they love, and neither one of those things are bad. Geeks are awesome and nerds are awesome, so just let your nerd flag fly. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for all the questions. They were wonderful. I love them all. They were fantastic and great, and I hope I answered them all to your satisfaction. And to the person who asked about the nerd with braces, I'm so sorry I didn't get your name written down on my notebook here. I do really humbly apologize. I hope you'll forgive me for that oversight. But shout out to you, and I love you guys so much. Thanks for love and support. I'm gonna take my chains and go get started on my editing, so I have a couple videos to edit. So love you guys, and until next time, peace out. Bye.